Taurus.
Do you follow Karen's daily scopes yet? If not, and wonder what they hold, click the sample link below and listen to both the Astro scope and Tarot scope, and get a feel for what you can expect in your love, career, and financial outlook for today.
Hello Taurus, this is your March forecast for 2014, and so how is it working for you, this balancing of your new day-to-day routine? Mars in this area here is you using some time to lay down new structures and streamlining your daily life, and some of you have gone through some changes which is allowing you to actually now look at your life in a different way. And in this you might have more time, and it's all about bringing in those qualities that can harmonize your spirit. Some of you might just see that you'll be attracting a little bit more of creative pursuits, perhaps, bringing out that Venusian quality, what you love to do, what brings joy. Venus is all about the arts as well, and most of you Taurians, you're so excellent when it comes to fashion and colors, shapes, forms, textiles, textures, and so forth. So some of you might just be opening up some new doors there, finding new hobbies, and how you can utilize all this excess energy. And so let's talk about this energy, because this is where I see that you're now meeting yourself in the doorway, so to speak. It's like, now what do I do with all of this? And especially because Mars is going to be visiting this area of your chart for many months. And so you might just feel extra antsy if you can't find an outlet. So health is one good way to burn off that extra steam. So I see many of you thinking of the physical body, which again, you know, is something that you're very connected to. All of your five senses, which is the physical body. So you might start finding yourself at the gym, working out, listening to music at home and doing the dance, and shaking that body. And so fitness is one great way to use this, because Mars is going to be here for you all the way to June, July. Gives you a lot of time to work it out to something that really suits you. It's also the area of dieting, so some of you might pay more attention to what you eat, how you eat, streamlining it, toning muscles. I can also see that it's also beaming a lot of this energy here now for you as well, up to the 11th house this month. And the 11th house is all about friendships. And you got the new moon here, Taurus. So I could see new groups being affiliated and new people coming in that you resonate with on a new level. You have all of your good old friends, so they're there, but it's reaching or branching out to somebody who now probably, when I say resonate with, if we look at where Mars is acting right now, that's your drive, your ambition, your goals. And if this now becomes your focus of attention to get more fit, well, that's maybe where you're going to find a new crowd of people that you can go and work out with. For example, you see how that works? The new moon in this area here, and it's right on top of the month here, you want to give yourself this affirmation that the path that you're on should be all about now wanting to spend more time in this area of friendships, the area of groups, organizations, maybe even volunteering your time a little bit. I say that only because these groups might also be where you volunteer, say do charity, for example. Great place to get off some of that that energy, the extra energy of Mars, to put it into areas where you can feel you're giving to society, and which will make you feel really good about yourself. And there might be new doors opening up for new affiliations and new friends and connections. here. We have 2 new moons this month, Taurus, which is very seldom. We had it in January, leaving us with only 1 moon in February, which was the full moon. Here in March, we got 2 new moons and a full moon, and this has now shifted us over to a different rhythm on our monthly basis. So the second new moon this month is going to be in your 12th house for pulling back a little bit. That's going to be at the very, very end of the month. And I think it's just because this new moon has activated you where you're feeling the spurt of energy, all the new impressions, new people, new day-to-day activities and work. So you might just feel that now is the time to pull back. There at the end of March. And that new moon's intention should be all about, now I need to make and create some space and time for myself. That's the 12th house, pulling behind the veils a little bit. It's also the area of spirituality and your inner sense of self. And in this, your new moon, the intention for the full year should be, I'm really going to also enjoy my time alone. When I create this space, it's sacred. I listen to myself. I listen to the higher messages. Because when I'm too busy out there, which you've been the full month of March, right? But when I'm too busy outwardly, my attention is always out and I'm not really listening. And it is when we listen to ourselves that we grow. And that inner self, that higher you, is in fact the best friend you could ever have. So if we're talking about friendships, which the 11th house is going to spur on, you will see that you can attract many people, and then these people can all come from different areas of life, and that can distract you away from who you are on the inside, building that inner structure, spiritual structure and foundation of yourself. So you might get a little insight, are you too much focused out there as opposed to the balance of, and remember Mars now is in Libra, trying to find the right balance of what is too much, what is too little in your daily life. Are you forgetting who you are? Are you avoiding or escaping who you are? That's the 12th house, see? So the new moon here at the end of the month would tell you that it would behoove you, in fact, to ask yourself these questions. And how much time should you give yourself on a daily, weekly basis to really tune in, listen, become that very best friend, because you'll have no better friend than the friend you are with yourself. And that is a relationship as well. And you might find some unexpected surprises, surprising answers as you listen, because this new moon here is quickly going to catch up with Uranus in this area. Uranus is all about breaking away from old patterns. It renews, it supercharges us like a bolt of lightning unexpectedly. These, oh my God, revelations. It could be an epiphany that comes when this new moon touches it. It's like, wow, I didn't know I had this incredible, not just space within, but I have this incredible universe within. In the solitude, in the quietness, you open up for the vastness of that spiritual self. And I think this is going to be the greatest gift the universe can give you here on this new moon. But then we also have you here in March really starting now to gear up for business, career. Mercury, which is communication, is in this area of the 10th house of career, really going to work for you, Taurus. And I see that the connections you have, who you have in the past working with, but there could also be reaching out either in a new way, or you might find that there's new clients coming in, but I see you thinking somewhat outside of the box, not just relying on the past. See, your 10th house of career is in the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius needs to think about the future. And having Mercury here is you streamlining, because Mercury rules your thoughts and communication. It's streamlining here through Aquarius, which is saying, what else can you do? How can I make it different now? Mercury only goes through this area once a year. Okay, so you're not going to get this chance before next year. So March is a great month to think up new structures, strategies, ideas, communicating with maybe your clients in a new way, untraditional way, a little bit breaking new grounds. And I see you can really dish up something, because Mercury has been retrograde here in February for you all month, right? So that's you thinking back over the past years of this area of career. Where did it bring you in 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13? It's like, okay, this is what I did, but how can I do it differently? That's what this month is going to be all about here in March. And you only have a little bit of time, because as Mars starts going direct again here at the end of February on the 28th, you only have 12 more degrees to really speed up and catch up, which is until the 17th of March. So you have 17 days to really become original, to come in touch with how you can expand this area until next year. Okay, so you get these beautiful days, mark it off on your calendar. Then we also have a beautiful sense of transformation. This is the Sun and Pluto. So this is also the area of hopes and dreams and wishes. Pluto is that point of transformation. Pluto is in the 9th house, the area of you going through your deeper sense of transformation, what life has given you here just over the last couple of years, really digging deeply into your spirit there, and you starting to awaken to the fact, why is this taking place? What am I supposed to get from this? Pluto's asking you to dig deeply and highly, because the 9th house is all about that higher thinking. It's about transformation of spirit, renewal of spirit. And then the Sun here coming in on March 3rd is really beautiful, because suddenly there's going to be an awakening of, and I think it's going to come through one of your friends around you, since the 11th house rules friendship, and this is where you're going to be placed on the 3rd, when a conversation, maybe of depth or of something transformational, spiritual, maybe even metaphysical, will come in, and through this talk, something's going to spark, and you're going to have this insight of like, wow, yeah, maybe that is why. And as you see it, something is going to peel off, okay? A layer is going to be stripped off, and then a sense and a renewal of energy. Then we have Venus. Venus has been cruising through this very same house where Pluto has tried to transform you. December, January, February, and retrograding in this area. So Venus rules love, right? And Pluto rules that transformation of love. And before new things, new love can come in, it's really asking you to look closely at the love that you have or have had, and how to let it go, because it's death and transformation. It's rebirthing from the old. So some of you work through and pose these questions up into that 9th house. What was I supposed to learn? What have I got out of it? Okay, now when I release this, how can I renew it? And in that comes the passionate strength of Pluto to bring in a deeper sense of love, a deeper sense of what you value as far as what love really means to you. Is love love, you know, from the heart? Or is this Venus love of security, which it could be or have been, which where Venus also rules money and security, and Pluto there. So what is love? What is Venus for you? Is it love, romance, or is love security? So this is what you've been thinking probably from December till now, and it's just about to release itself here when we get into top of the month. March 5th, it's going to jump into your career house, and now Venus there is going to give you that oomph, this love, this drive, this passion, and it rules money too, right? So money is going to come in after the 5th, and between the 5th and the 17th, remember, you have your your Mercury there, thinking outside of the box, new ideas, and Venus coming into this area, also in the new idea area. The two of them can work together to actually come up with something, muster up something that can create either more income streamlined from it, or maybe even a secondary thing. Maybe some of you are going to be thinking a new business because the full moon this month is going to be in that area of creative projects. Now this full moon will hit on the 16th, and this is the day before Mercury is leaving that career house. So it might just bring something in full. If you choose to focus on working with the planetary energies, and this is why they're here. You know, when we're conscious, we can take them, use them, we've got tools. If we just choose to allow our days to pass by and we're not paying attention to anything of those energies, opportunities come and they go. And maybe we only see it too late. It's like, wow, there was an opportunity down the road, but I didn't pay attention, I didn't notice. But when we know the planetary energies, the dates and times and what they represent, we can take hold of them and we can actually use them and make them work for us. So from the 1st to the 17th, it's all about how you're going to make your money and make it work for you the entire year, not just here in March. Then it's going to be gone. Venus also takes a whole year to go around the chart once. You won't have Venus back here before next year around pretty much the same time. So you really want to dance with this Venus. So what else do we have for you? We have Saturn. Well, Saturn still having you look at relationships, partnerships, and especially those you have one-on-one. You know, whether it is your spouse, your new love, whether it's how you interact and work with a partner, if you have a business with somebody. Saturn's still testing and testing you to see if you're still standing your grounds, how you're mastering or not mastering this area. And it might feel a little heavy, but Saturn's only heavy if we resist it. If we go, oh, I don't want this, I don't like the energy, it's too much responsibility, it's too heavy. If we're looking at that, well then Saturn will continue to create that pressure which you hate because you're resisting it. It's like if you avoid it, well, it's just going to accumulate more. Saturn is actually here, and if you can look at Saturn as being your friend, then you're not looking as much as to the heaviness of responsibility or what your partner is doing or not doing. Your focus won't be just there. You'll be looking at Saturn as a part of yourself, your own sense of empowerment. What can I do to really rise to the occasion? Because Saturn wants us to master. And what are you supposed to master right now? It's the 7th house. It's the area of the one-on-one communication, the one-on-one relationships, spouse or friendships or partnerships, doesn't really matter. But how are you mastering it? When you master your load, which Saturn is, when you can carry it and you embody it, it doesn't feel heavy. What does it feel? It feels like you have accomplished. You have become one with it. Now you're the strength. You are the one that is actually powering through. It's not overpowering you from your partner. You are actually now taking the lead. You are rising. You are expanding in this area. You are now the master of your destiny here. You're not allowing it just to be the shadow of the partner. You are actually now the leader. So as long as Saturn's going to be here, we got it all through 2014, then it's going to be gone for 29 years, 28, 29 years. So this is Saturn's gift to you, to learn how to love it, to love responsibility, not to pinpoint it, you know, and point a finger and, you know, see it as a separate entity from yourself. But where you're saying, I take this on me because I can. I do this because I master my way. Saturn is saying that I am the leader and the responsible one of my life. And when we do that, wow, it's like this power and energy opens up. That's the transformation you're going to be seeing throughout this year, and month by month we'll look at the transits to Saturn and how you're doing in this area of growth. Okay, you will have maybe some months where we're going to get all this extra help to grow it, and then you might have some months where you're going to be a little triggered and tested upon it. But we have to test before we graduate, right? Graduation is coming there in December. So then we also have, I did mention the full moon, 5th house. That has to do with children. It has to do with joy. It's the time we spend when we go out and do the things we love to do, hobbies, leisure, fun, dancing, all that creative stuff. And it is also about new territory as far as business goes. So if you're thinking of starting a new business, this could be great to have the full moon with us. However, though, what we don't really want to start a new business with is when we have Mars and Saturn retrograde. Now, March 2nd, we have March 1st, excuse me, Mars is going to start retrograding, and it will retrograde until out there sometime June, and it will be, no, I'm sorry, May 20th. And Mars has to do with direction, ambition, drive. So between March 1st to May 20th, well, the area where it's going to be retrograding is your day-to-day routines. So it's not really time to expand this area. It's time to look back over the routine that you have implemented, say, over the last 6 months. How am I doing with this? How can I improve better? And so forth. And then Saturn from March 2nd till July 20th, that's the area of relationships, which is going to be retrograding. So whatever you started there, say last summer coming through the autumn until now, well, now you're going to see how far that has advanced, what has worked, what works is good. You know, you harvest it, and you'll see that you can start eliminating some of it because of it. And then what still hasn't really found its niche or its level or its shelf, well, this is where now you're going to be tweaking and working a little bit here until July 20th. So a new business starting here with these two retrograde. You know, we're working on the past, we're not working on moving forward, and a new business needs a healthy, strong Mars. It needs a healthy, strong foundation, which is Saturn. So you could think about it. You can make plans, ideas, research, all that, and it is great if you do. Pluto is up there that can help you do that research, and then be ready for late summer. You know, July onwards, August is really good for it. And we have the area of now Jupiter that has made communication a little difficult for you. Maybe because Jupiter is in the area of communication and how you communicate, what you communicate, short distance travel and so forth. Well, the good news is that on March 6th, Jupiter is going to be moving forward again, opening up the floodgates. You will feel more joy, more satisfaction, a little bit more abundance, and coming forward in a more of a joyful manner, the way that Jupiter can do when Jupiter is happy. It's a happy-go-lucky energy to have. So you will feel that that is going to lift from the 6th. So this whole area will behoove you also maybe to take a short trip, even if it's just a day trip. Take the car and go, you know, 4, 5, 6 hours down the road. It will help you open up and streamline your thoughts, because third house is how you think and how you receive that inner communication as well, as the linear communication of your thought patterns. And see, Jupiter is going to want to now give you vision. Jupiter always sees the big picture, not the small picture. Jupiter doesn't know how to do anything small. And so when you're out and about, and remember how we talked about if you're too much out there, too much people around you and distracting you, you're not listening on the inside. Now Jupiter is going to give you thoughts in form of inner communication, but Jupiter can also play a movie on the inside of your mind, where it will open up visions for the future, and where you can actually go, whoa, this is what I want to do. You know, because a vision, an image, tells more than 1,000 words. So I would say when you can spend time alone, cherish it. This is when you can start seeing again, okay? This is this kind of seeing. And it's better to do that when you're out and about than when you're just inside your walls, because then your mind only goes that far to the wall, bounces back to you. When you're out driving, you're driving, you're paying attention to the road, of course, but your higher mind will have a greater, it's like going to the movie, the big screen to look at, and this is where inspiration can come to you. So, hey, listen, this is pretty much what we got here for you. I'm just going to run a couple of dates by you before we end up for this month. Pay attention to wonderful days there, the 13th, 14th. We have news coming in that can be grounding you in a way that you're feeling that what you've been working for is now starting to settle in. Something that's securing you with roots here on the 13th. 14th, I see that you're kicking into action. Great day for any kind of contracts being set up. Mercury's aligned. Mars is wanting to hammer down. Then we have Mercury passing into Pisces on the 17th. So it's going to be moving out of that career house into the social house. So you'll see how the rest of March is going to be very social. Then we have unexpected joy, news, action happening for you on the 18th. This could be also something coming to you in a career manner, perhaps that maybe you've been having some underlying thoughts about, but which now can kind of kick into action. Maybe you put something forward, an inquiry that might just now pan out for you on the 18th. Boom, there it is, the opportunity. Snap it up, it's good. And then at last, you're going to be ending this month on a beautiful note, Taurus. You're going to have a feeling of joy, a feeling of accomplishment, a feeling of things coming together for you. Great news breaking here on the very last days from the 26th and throughout. Whatever communication that's coming in, there's a feeling of victory. There's a feeling of like, yes, the green light is back here with you. And I see that you're kicking into action just after a day or two contemplating whatever this good news was brought to you, is how to implement it, where to go now. Of course, we're going to be looking at next month's forecast and see where that's going to go for you. But I'm seeing that you're feeling that this whatever news is now starting to give you the pulse of the new that's coming in, the feeling of empowerment and where you can now transform into this new structure, and you'll see how even money is going to be much better for you as Venus and Saturn comes together here on the 29th. So news on the 26th, and then on the 29th you might just receive it in your hand and feel that, oh my, this is real, it's not just talk. Right? So great month for you actually, and just always remember here throughout this month, Mars Saturn retrograde, you don't really want to kind of start, but you want to tweak, you want to research, you want to really harness these energies now so you can empower yourself in times to come. This is what springtime is going to be. Okay, we got this to June, July, like I said. This is a time for you to put down new bricks upon the path of your life so things can start gelling and really looking good from summertime. But we also talk about this here on the dailies, you know, because we have the moon triggering these planets. The moon moves very quickly here. So whenever they touch upon these vital points in your chart, this is when you get the day-to-day action. So I'll see you next month, so make sure to listen to your moon and rising sign, as always.